Okay, so now what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually I'm going to turn down this volume one last little notch here, so it's okay. Great. Um, I want to do some rigging. So let's get the two panes going here, and I'm going to go to this other side. And while I'm doing this, it might be easier if I just hide my clothes. Yes, hide them. Okay. And I'm going to go zipping into rigging, and I'm going to go into skeleton, and I'm going to go to create joints. And I'm going to do my side view first. And so I'm going to find my root joint here. And I usually like to put them kind of in the middle and favor the back a little bit. My joints look a little bit small. So I'm just going to go here to display, and I'm going to go to animation. That's because all this rigging stuff used to be in a sub-menu called animation. Then they decided to split it up, but they didn't quite do a very good job. Anyway, I can take the slider and I can change the size of them a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to keep this around because I'm going to do some other things. So I'm going to go and put in a back joint. I put in a root. I put in a back. I'm going to go up, and I'll put another one kind of in my rib cagey area. And then I'm going to go up and put one in my neck. Middle of my neck, because I got a longer neck here. If you got a shorter neck, you might just use two, but I typically like three. Put one up here. Actually, something else I really hate is the, on this tool, the variable bone radius annoys me. Anyway, now I'm just going to go up. I just double clicked on that icon and it popped up. And I'm also going to put in one for my hips. I put down an independent hip movement. So what I just did is hit the up arrow key till I got to the root joint, and I did that. And actually, you know what I'm going to just do right away, because this also bugs me. Because the variable bone radius drives me nuts. If I grab all my joints at once, and I take the radius, I'll just put them to, say, 1. And now I can see they're all exactly the same size. And then I can just dial them down. And I like my root joint to have a slightly larger radius, so I'll just make that bigger. So it's just easy to note what I've done. Okay, and let's just do some quick renaming. So there's like the head underscore end. Okay, I'm just going to take that little piece of text there, copy. Okay, and then I can grab these ones. Those are for my neck. So I'm just going to go to, where is it, right here, and use rename. And actually that fits all into the screen, right? And I'm going to go and hit neck, neck, neck. There. And these are my two backs. Back. Back 1 and 2. That's going to be my root. I am root. Did I spell anything wrong? No. Okay, good. And then this one here is going to be for my pelvis. Okay, remember this. The idea here is this is a simple rig that anyone can kind of make straight off the bat after the end of a first term of 3D education. Okay, so that's good. Got those in place. Next thing, let's move into the leg. I'm going to get my joint tool again. And I'm going to put in my hip. And remember, your hip is not at the base of your crotch. It's up a bit. And I'm going to put in a knee. I put them kind of in the middle. I'm going to look for where my foot should go. And it's going to go, say, right about there. Kind of where your ankle is right here. That's the ankle joint. Right? So I look at the top of the foot and I go down a bit. It's more forgiving if it's down a bit lower than if it's upper. And I'm going to put in one here for the balls of my feet and the tip of my toe, and I'm going to hit enter. And let's go and take a look at that again in the hypergraph. And that top one, that's going to be my hip. Okay. And that one there is going to be my knee. Knee. And I'll go down here for my ankle. Great. And then I've got my ball of my foot. And then there is the toe joint, toe end. Great. And I'm just going to go to my front view and double check what I've got going on here for my leg. So my leg is probably sitting in the middle. I want to try to make it so I don't really move these joints around from side to side. So I'm going to do something like, actually that looks pretty good there. I'd almost find it more forgiving to, actually in this case here, actually mine works out pretty good. I'm going to leave it like that. I could probably sculpt this into place a bit more. but I usually like to make it straight. If I was going to do any changes to it, I'd go and rotate it like this. You're just going to find it's easier to hook up the IK handles. When you're first learning, it really is a pain in the butt if the knee warbles and stuff like that, and that's more advanced. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm also just going to take the hip, and I'm going to go to Modify, Prefix Hierarchy Names, and I'm going to identify it as the left side, so L underscore. Boop. And then I can take this, and I can parent it to my pelvis. Okay, great. And I'm going to take the hip, and I'm going to go to Skeleton, Mirror Joints, and make sure we're on the YZ. I search for capital L underscore, and then I replace with capital R underscore, and I just check it, and everything's moved across, and I'm a happy little camper. Okay, so I'm moving up here, and I'm trying to do this as fast as possible. I'm going to get my joint tool again, and I'm going to go, here's the clavicles across here, and my pec is around here. Remember that this is really based off the rotations of your scapula. So I'm putting it there, and let's go to the side view for a second. And it's kind of in the front. I do like it there better, even though the scapula's back here. I find it gives a better deformation. So this is how I go. Okay, and that should be good. And next thing, let's go back to the top view. I don't think we've been in the top view yet. Let's just deselect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my joint tool, and I'm going to find the shoulder here. I'm going to find my elbow and my wrist. And I could probably model this a little bit better. Maybe I'll try to fix that in the model. It looks a little bit gooby right in here. This should be a little bit straighter, whatever. It's a cartoon! Okay, and then I'm going to go to my front view, and these are probably... Come on, you bastard! Uh-oh. What is that? That's weird. Sometimes that happens. I notice a strange behavior. And I can't see my move tool. Is it here? Double click on my move tool, reset it. Strange. Let's see. I'm going to pause for a second and see if I can figure this out. Okay, for some strange reason, there's something wrong with my move tool. I switched to my rotate tool, went back to my move tool, and then everything was fine. Okay. Sometimes I sit there and puzzle over these things. I'm kind of trying to figure out a way to get the shoulder in place. My arm, it's not that great. I try to keep it straight again because it's a little bit easier if it's in a nice straight line. And if this isn't really straight, what I'm going to do here, because it's all warbly, again, I'm trying to keep this simple. So what if I go and oh yeah, you bastard. Okay, what if I go in here and I grab an edge loop like this? And I'm going to make sure that my symmetry is on. So I'll fix this really quick. I'm going to go and change the drop off. I'm holding down B in my middle mouse button. I grab the move tool and I'm just going to move it. Let's go and do a little bit more. Just going to move this up a bit. Okay, and I could probably... there should be kind of a nicer fall off here, but yeah. Yeah, don't get too carried away. Oh, and I'm being told by my dog that I've got other things to do. Okay, great. And I'll turn on my soft selection. Got my joints for my arm in. And if I go in here and I parent these together, great. One other little trick I'm going to do is I'm just going to come running in here and I'm going to put in an ulna joint. If I go to skeleton and I go to insert joints, I click on this joint and I pull. I got an ulna. And I'm just going to take this one, hold down shift, select the elbow, and I'll press P and parent that in. And just so, come on you bastard, there's something weird going on. Okay, and just so I name these, here I'll move this over so you can see what the hell I'm doing. That joint is going to be my clav. I still call it the clavicle, even though it's really based on the scapula. And there's my shoulder. Great. There's my elbow. Elboa constrictor. And there is my ulna, even though this is really the radius. I'm calling it the ulna because it's a more unique name. And there's my wrist. Wrist. Great. And so now we're getting into my hand. Handy time. This is a good time to make sure that's off there. this is a good time to go in here and use this snap to projected centers. And I'm going to get my joints out again. And I always kind of put in a palm bone in here. Oh, and what tool do I have on? I do not have the tool I want. Create joints. Okay, let's try it again. And this is just to bend my hand a bit. It's not really super necessary. It's what I do. Okay, and I'm going to put in one for my middle finger here. And I'm just going up the tip of my finger. Okay, great. Enter. I didn't have to hit enter. You can click on this joint that activates it again. You can keep drawing from here. So this time around when I do it, if I just go and hit the up arrow, I can do this and travel the hierarchy. Then put in me pinky time. There. And then up, 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 up. And we'll go and put in the index. And there, we've done that. And maybe just for the hell of it, let's do it this way just to show you more crazy stuff. I'm going to put in my thumb here, and there is my thumb over here, here, and here. Okay, and that really shouldn't be parented to this. This thumb here should be parented to the wrist. So P, take this, parent it to the wrist, P, done. Also, to keep in mind that you might want to look at your axes. Make sure your axes are good. You can go into component mode and change them if need be. So I've got the y-axis on this one, and that one's the y-axis as well. You can go into component mode, turn on the question mark, and you can grab these things and adjust them and move them around. But I'm not going to do that if something wacky happens. Okay, let's get out of there. And I'm just going to do some quick renaming. And so if I grab these joints here, let's get the hypergraph out again so I can see what the hell I'm doing. And these ones are, that's going to be my index. And actually, while I'm in the hypergraph, what's this? This is my thumb. There is my palm. Actually, well, grab these ones here. That's thumb up here. Thumb. Okay. And that one's the palm joint. Great. And these first ones here, that's the index. No, that's the middle finger, mid. And I think that one's the index right there. I'm just going to grab that one and we'll do that index. And I just want to move it. And if you hold down, if you select it, hold down control and you middle click, you can switch these around. So there's index, mid, there's a ring. Grab those. Ring. And there's the pinky. Boop. And we're done that part. And I might just go and grab the clavicle. And if I go in here and I do that modify prefix hierarchy names, capital L underscore, bloop, there, I'm going to parent that to this one. So press P. And then if I select this joint again and I go to skeleton and I hit mirror joints, ba-boom, we've got my skeleton done. And I think maybe one more thing I'll just do, because it's handy to do. I'm just going to immediately go in here and I'm going to group this so that that's my skeleton underscore group. And that was nice and fast and handy, and it's clean. I can also put it onto a layer, and I'm just going to call this skeleton underscore layer. I always put the word layer in this so that you can spot it in over here in the input. Sometimes you just put skeleton, it's like, what the hell does that mean? But if it, there, it connects better. And that's it. I'm going to stop this video here.